Yeah. Get into it. Game number 1 between Fnatic and MG.Trust. See if Fnatic can get off to a good start.
The one thing I'm a little concerned about is like the laning stage for Motivate, and where is the other damage going to come from in the Chrono? Like, it's just a Void essentially that can do it. You've got a Chakram, yes, and you've got Swashbuckle, sure, but it's no real sustained damage during that. So I think if Motivate can get out of the laning stage relatively fine, they're going to be set to win.
Okay. See how they make it work. I mean, we can't forget as well that there is the Empower for Jackie. So that's going to buff him up just a little bit. His general build, if I am remembering correctly, will be a Mask of Madness into possibly the MKB. Just a pure kind of attack damage rushing worth of items, and I don't know, Fnatic, we'll see if they can put up with it. It is going to be important though, right, for this mid lane matchup. And we did talk about this at the start of the draft for game number 1. But there is going to be a lot of pressure on Moon to be able to create space for Raven this game. Raven's already probably going to have a rather tough time in that safe lane. So you are going to have to buy a substantial amount of time to ensure that Raven can farm up on that Spectre and become that late game powerhouse you expect to see.
Alright, so any tri-lane potential at the very start? We can see Zephyr's here, just sitting in the Roche pit. He's going to be scouted out by Boombell though, so nicely done.
Walk away. There's going to be 3-on-3 up at this top rune spot. DJ going to get Fortune's Ended. He won't be able to get in for the tag team yet. Masaros going to be able to take the bounty away, and now he does chain. Looks like he'll be alright, but Boombell getting blocked off by the shards. He'll try and wait this one out. Masaros is coming back in to try and go onto DJ, but they are going to get first blood. Now turning back around, they do get the task. It will end up being a 1-for-1. But Fnatic definitely got the better end of that stick. Unless maybe Zephyr goes down here. Because Q does have another Fortune's End to come out. And Masaros has another chains. Zephyr will pop the Fairy Fire. And looks like he might just barely survive. No. Oh. Nice chains out from Masaros. Really he will get a secondary one.
He used the Quelling Blade and the Tangos to clear the trees so that he did get the range for that. That was really nicely done.
Genius out from Masaros. Good start for him. He'll get 1 kill for himself. I believe there was 1 kill out. In fact, who got the other kill?
Fearless. So this mid lane's going to be even harder for Moon now up against the Mag.
Just a great start for Motivate. Speaking of that mid lane, the Ember vs Magnus matchup, we talked about this in the draft stage, and we did talk about how hard it was going to be. In fact, hold that thought, because top lane Masaros is going to die straight off the bat. Looks like Zephyr got extremely aggressive on that Snapfire and got the damage out. Well, Masaros, he doesn't have reactive armor yet, so he does have to be just a little bit cautious. I was talking about the mid lane matchup, however. That Moon versus Fearless matchup, it should really favor the Magnus. The Ember Spirit is always going to be at a disadvantage with that Empower being up on Fearless.
And you're always going to have a slight level advantage as well with clearing the wave faster. Just having it to the tower. I'm surprised that Moon let that range creep go, but getting the deny off on Fearless, and you can see here with that lane pushed in, he just needs to walk back to the small camp, and he can just slightly accelerate his farm ahead of the Embers.
Nice little play out from DJ to pull the creep wave back and try to set up this mid wave to be the way of Moon. It is going to eventually push back the way of MG.Trust though, as time goes on, as it is going to stack up. That'll mean Fearless should eventually get quite a bit of farm himself. But at least Moon is going to get a bit of an XP advantage before that does happen. Looks like Fearless is going to try and interrupt with that Empower and Shockwave. Try to even this mid wave out. He's getting away with it. But Moon trying for the range does get it. Very, very nice.
Very slight misplay there from Fearless. The cleave bringing it in deny range. Top lane, they're diving a little bit.
Q's very low, but Zephyr is even lower, and they do get the kill first. And it looks like Q is just going to be able to salve up and turn back around now, where Raven needs to be cautious. Luckily for him, Masaros did run out of mana, so they could not keep up the chase. It looks like Raven and Q are going to have a bit of a fight over this neutral camp, but Q is going to be able to get it. All Raven could do was get a bit of harass in.
Bot lane, DJ is getting chased a little bit, but he should be able to just get away. Jackie in a little trouble, although he's got the time warp.
You're right. They're going to try onto Boombell instead, and another great shards out from DJ, but Boombell is just going to be able to walk around the shards, and he'll be just fine to walk out safely. So we're going to try and go for the pool now and equal out this lane a little bit.
You know, it's going to be intercepted somewhat, but DJ is in a vulnerable position. Tranquil's healing him up a little bit, but still going to find it hard to try and contest this.
So we're 3 for 2 so far. Everything pretty even. Moon doing a good job in the mid lane as the Ember. Fearless having a great time on the mag. I suppose with these drafts, it is going to be slightly passive for the first 10 minutes. So you are waiting for, you know, those levels to be up, maybe a core item or two before you really want to get started on trying to get some ganks off. And as I say that, Q is going to rotate on the Oracle now with a Fortune's End and Purifying Flames, and now a skewer back from Fearless, and that'll be Moon probably just dying here. That Purifying Flames, though, helping him out a bit with the bottle. They aren't going to be able to finish him off. Q, a bit preemptive on the Purifying Flames. We'll continue chasing Moon, however, see if he can just get a snipe off, but Moon will have another bottle charge and looks like he will be alright.
Just keeping the harass up. Why not? You know, you've made the rotation through. He's also in position to start contesting these 5-minute runes as well here on Q. I'm keen to see how he plays this because he's very much a get-up-in-your-face style of player, but Oracle is not one of those.
No, he's not. Top lane, Masaros, he was making a chase onto Zephyr, and now Q has rotated, so perhaps they can kill Zephyr. The Fortune's End, but no, Zephyr's going to keep moving forward now with the cookie, but Masaros is now going to move in, and Zephyr is just going to TP straight back out of there into the mid lane, where he will probably just make his way back up top. Things are still going very smoothly for both teams.
I think if anyone's going to make a rotation super early on, it's going to be Forev, just because this Timbersaw, he doesn't want to leave his lane. Like, it is guaranteed free farm. You can just stay under a tower, take away the entire map. Whereas Forev, he's going into the phase boots and then going straight into that Orchid. So it's going to be super important for him to get these kills onto the Pango and the Oracle, especially early on into the piece.
Huge group up down mid. Both supports from Fnatic trying to group up in that mid lane up against Fearless, but he stuck around with Q at that tier 1 tower, and they weren't able to get anything done there. Q, or rather Fearless, will happily get back to farming. Looks like Moon will get what he wanted anyway, which was the Illusion Rune to bottle up. I've got to give props over to Raven as well, Dano. He is farming very, very well considering the circumstances. Masaros not really applying as much pressure as I would have expected to see.
More pressure though, bot side.
Boombell gonna drop there. DJ able to secure the kill. They still haven't really been able to slow down Jackie too much, at least on the Void, but this is still a nice pick to get for Fnatic.
Yeah, of course. You always just want to be able to keep them on the back foot. At the end of the day, you've got Haunt, right? So any sort of rotations, it doesn't even need to... Like, the area of the map that you actually need to cover with your heroes is so much less on Fnatic right now compared to Motivate. So, at the end of the day, though, it's, like, pretty even coming out of the laning stage, so I don't think Motivate are in too bad of a position.
Well, they're going again. Boombell very, very low, goes for the swashback, but now the Haunt comes in from Raven. He wants to go for the fight, and they are going to be able to pick up Boombell, but Forev will drop his own life. That's the support for a position 3 trade. Jackie the one able to take the kill on the Void. I dare say that's not really that worthwhile for Fnatic.
It's not, and you know, you can just see here on the top side, while Raven has to commit to that, he's now laning together with Jackie. You've got the Chronosphere available, so if you want to try and make a turnaround, you can. Not that he has the greatest amount of damage, and Timber was about to do a TP down to this bot side, but he doesn't have it anymore, so he might be in trouble.
Jackie, oh, he gets a time walk off in time. They'll sprout him up, but he will Quelling Blade through the trees, and he will be able to back off. Fnatic are going to go ahead and just take the bottom tier 1 tower. And, of course, they would have loved the kill on that Void, but they don't really have a choice in the matter now.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jackie, though, top lane, he's just going to be able to kill off Zephyr. Nice, easy kill for the Void.
And that's the thing, right? while all of that's happening, you've just got Fearless jungling, you had Q sitting in the mid lane, just getting a little bit of farming experience, and Timbersaw pushing in topside. So while you have to commit 3 heroes on Fnatic to try and make that happen, you've got this Timbersaw that gives you the luxury of not grouping together everyone. Like, Jackie's up here to secure the last hit on the tower and his creep wave, but Masaros is just going to continue taking this lane over and over again.
And he is. Fnatic. They are 1k behind now in terms of net worth. Moon is
The Empowers starting to come around as well, so just the way that they're playing it on Motivate too. Like, look at where the farm is that they're taking. They're forcing Fnatic to play in relatively unsafe positions, whereas they're fine with it because they've got the farming capabilities. They've got a Timbersaw that can just continuously pressure these lanes.
I do like this out from Motivate.Trust. But we are going to have a quick pause out now from DJ. Looks like he's going to have a quick disconnection on the Tusk. But this is going very, very well so far for Motivate. Like, I do still expect a bit more pressure to be applied from Fnatic. I know we are still early, however. Like, there's still items to be picked up here from multiple cores on Fnatic's end. But when you've got a Tusk and a Snapfire, you do expect once you hit that 11, 12-minute mark that the aggression will start from this Dire side.
And that's why I really like where Jackie's farming, because honestly, at 9 minutes into the game, do you really expect a guy to be farming hard camps in your own jungle? Probably not. So the fact is they need to find him on Forev, because I don't think that they've used the Wrath of Nature just yet. You know, you need to use that in combination with a few of these stuns and lockdown that you've got. Hopefully we get a Searing Chains level up at level 8 here from Moon. So that you can burst the Void down before he can get that Time Walk and try and delay him in that way.
Oh, looks like Masaros is going to kill off Zephyr. Nice and easy on the Timber. Moon is rotating up, but Jackie is there with the Chrono. He's going to be careful. Moon still trying to go after Masaros, and Jackie is actually going to leave the building. He'll leave Masaros alone to die. Doesn't bother throwing out the Chrono to try for the Ember.
Well, they found him, so at least they've forced Jackie to come back and farm in a bit more of a safer space, which is good. The vision that they have, though, on the Dire isn't quite on that high ground just yet, so I wouldn't be surprised if he just started to make his way through his rotations, farming rotations, just up onto that top side again, but not before he takes this stacked Ancient Camp. For the stack, is he gonna get it? Yes, nicely done.
Very nice. He has that that Mask of Madness coming out as well, so he will definitely be able to take those stacks now for Jackie. As long as he has that Empower up. Still just farming fine, but Raven, he's just slightly ahead in terms of net worth on the Spectre. Going into that Yasha now and probably into the Manta style straight after that. Things are still going relatively fine for Fnatic as well. It's not the at all the be-all end-all yet. Just holding out, giving Raven space, making sure he's safe. But mid lane, Moon. He's gonna have the Fortune's End thrown out, but that's really it. He's perfectly fine.
Just doing a pirouette in place. I think once they get a little bit more farm up on this Void, and not just farm but levels as well, that time dilation makes it so much harder to take fights as an Ember Spirit, because suddenly your safety net in the Sleight of Fist is not able to be spammed every 6 seconds.
Oh, Walrus Punch out from DJ. Boombell copying a lot of damage from that Nature's Wrath. And he will go down to DJ on the Tusk. Very nice kill there from DJ. Raven will just get back to farming that bot lane. He just wants to keep the pressure up. They've got the siege creep there, which obviously helps out. And Motivate.Trust will be forced to deal with this, but you've already got Q around. He'll just disarm the siege creep and slow it down from doing what it does best.
Fearless?
Fearless is caught. He does have that RP available, but he's been stunned up. Still not throwing it out. He'll go for the skewer instead, but DJ is going to snowball in. Motivate.Trust, I mean, they're getting a nice net worth lead, but they're not really doing much with it yet.
I don't think they have to. I feel like a Void is just going to out-farm a Spectre and outplay a Spectre later on into this, so it's rare that you get a hero that does it, but I feel like Void's just the strongest in all of that right now.
Masaros in a spot of danger, but no, he's not. Not really. He's taking no damage. He'll turn around onto DJ and take out the Tusk. They desperately need that Spirit Vessel up on Moon to really be able to take down Masaros, but Moon, he's going to jump back in. He has Remnants out just in case, and he will commit to that. But Zephyr, he got close to Masaros, and he might just pay for it now. As he chains forward, he is still chasing that Snapfire. He wants the kill, and he's going to get the kill. That'll be one down, and now even Moon getting caught by the RP. Oh, that is not good news if you are Fnatic.
Really nicely done. It was straight in combination with the Fortune's End, so they waited for it to use the Sleight of Fist. Immediate Fortune's End coming out there from Q. And of course, once he's rooted, you do have that... it takes out some of the uncertainty with using the RP. So, good teamwork, good coordination. Jackie showed up, but didn't really need to. But he's just able to go straight back to the jungle with that Empower. I think he might have even just showed up to say, hey, can I have a buff, please? Just go straight back.
I think it's going very, very well for Jackie. And he is indeed going for that MKB rush. That's just the right choice here. So, I don't see anything that's really going to stop him from just chronoing and getting some damage out. On the brighter side for Fnatic, you do have an Orchid now up on Forev, so if he does get the silence off onto that Void, in fact, he is going up to Q as we speak, he does miss out on that. But with that Orchid up, if he does get it off onto Jackie, they might be able to set up for a kill on this Void before he does get the BKB up. But never mind that, Jackie has switched it up. He is going to rush the BKB first.
I think it's fine just having the Blitz Knuckles, just because Time Lock is a busted spell. Doing the extra damage as well as the bonus damage, like the extra right click as well as the bonus damage, is way too strong in my mind. So I like what Fnatic are doing. They're pushing forward. They're looking to take that bottom tower a little bit. Don't quite have any points in the little Shredder, or only catching Zephyr. And DJ didn't even go for the snowball save. I was surprised with that.
Turn back around now onto the Void. Raven's going to jump in, and with that Orchid, they are going to be able to kill off Jackie. A nice pick off. MG.Trust, I don't think they can really keep fighting here, but they're going to try it onto DJ, and Masaros will be able to pick up the kill there on the Timber. Onto Forev. Forev, he doesn't have TP. All he has is the Orchid to use right now. He will try for the TP scroll, but it is not going to work out for him. And meanwhile, Moon, he's still in the middle of all this, but he will finally remnant out. Even though they got Jackie, they still lose 2 in return. It still basically evens out that team fight for the side of Motivate. So, he is going to come back in, but he may just want to go farm up that Spirit Vessel.
Yeah, I think that's the play. You know, you are able to get the kill onto Jackie, but at the end of the day, could have probably gone even better. Now you know that the Orchid is available though on the Nature's Prophet. So if he wasn't fully committed to finishing up that BKB before, that's #1 in Jackie's mind.
Forev gonna TP into Masaros. Does get the Orchid off, and Masaros will be fine. Bot lane, Boom Bell. A spot of danger, but Q is gonna TP in and just heal him up. He'll be perfectly fine. And even trash talks them a bit on the way out. Fnatic.
Why not? That's what Dota's about.
Absolutely. Fnatic, I mean, are they really still confident playing this this slow kind of game?
I think if you go first item Orchid, you can't be. You know, like, yes, you've got a Spectre, but the big benefit of having a Spectre is just being able to join in any sort of team fight with the Haunt, whereas Raven's just running straight at a hero.
Masaros going to be in a spot of danger. Forev, he'll get the Orchid out, but Masaros, he'll just TP.
Yep.
Easy peasy. Just
And
not really coordinated efforts here from Fnatic, I want to say. Like, you've got to have a bit more than that.
And in the meantime, you've got Boom Bell, who's just happily farming, you know? He's a position 5 Pangolier who's nearly got his Vlads at the 16.5-minute mark. That's well, I'm sorry. He's got it. He sells his Orb of Venom and picks it up. So suddenly you just need to exist in these team fights, and you're doing a huge service to both the Magnus and the Faceless Void.
That's great news, as Zephyr is going to die again, this time to Jackie, and we are going to have another pause out from DJ. So maybe just some internet issues going on here for Fnatic, or at least for DJ. MG.Trust, though, they've got a 4K net worth lead. They are well and truly on their way to dominating this mid-game stage. And you look at that win probability already, Danog. It's at 86%. That is extremely bad news for Fnatic when you have a Spectre in your team, and I gotta say, the AI does generally favor when there is a Spectre in the game. I know you pointed out the Void is probably one of the only cores that can go up against the Spectre in the late game. Still pretty bad news, though.
Oh yeah, horrible news. I mean, Gaben's been a big fan of Spec ever since it was introduced, basically. And yeah, the fact that it's still not feeling in their favor, like, I'm fine with the Nature's Prophet, and I'm even fine with it playing in this position 3 role, honestly. But you need to accomplish the objective of your item build, and it feels like Forev, it was a good rotation onto Jackie. You know, being able to pick him up, they took him down and slightly delayed this game, which is good. You know, obviously having a Spectre is great, but you need to actually deny out the Void at the same time. So that was a good rotation, even though they got some kills going back the other way. But since then, he's made one rotation, I think, onto the Timbersaw, and he just TPs away. So you need to target a lot more of these supports who are going these greedier items, like an Aether Lens. That doesn't provide any save against Orchid. You've got a Vlad's on Boombell. That doesn't provide any save. You know, he doesn't have a Glimmer Cape. He doesn't have a Force Staff. He doesn't have Yules. They don't have anything to be able to stop it. So those need to be the main priority targets.
Which is where I kind of go back to the uncoordinated issue here for Fnatic, because they're not really aiming those easier targets that they can take out. And they're missing their timing quite hard now. Like, eventually this global strat of this Prophet Spectre is not going to be as effective. And speaking of, well, now Jackie's going to jump in for an easy chrono out onto that Spectre, and there's not much that can save him. Jackie doesn't quite have the damage output, and Raven is barely going to get out in time, but they're still going to lose Zephyr. And Masaros will hold everyone else back on the Timbersaw.
Is that straight Roche? Oh, it is.
Why not? I mean, there's just nothing to stop them.
Yeah, the spam picks coming out from Zephyr. He's panicking. He's like, we gotta go now. He's gonna be up in 10 seconds, but I think with the 6-second timer to actually TP into the outpost, he might get there a little late, although it's dropping quite slowly.
Yeah, the shards were actually blocking them off from getting those auto attacks in, and now they're gonna haunt in. They've got to be concerned about the RP from Fearless, but DJ will get in with the Walrus Punch. Now the chain's out. Fearless still just standing his ground, waiting for that right moment. So Jackie, he'll get in with the time dilation. Now Forev in the back line's being skewered back into the side with an RP out now onto Moon and Forev. That'll be Forev dying. Moon is trying to fight back. He'll remnant out, but it's not looking great for him. At least the Swashbuckle does miss, but they will lose DJ, and Moon is still being chased down by Fearless. The Shockwave will not connect. He'll get out.
Kill secured.
Yeah. And that Roshan is still going to be taken now by the side of Motivate.
I really like the way the Motivate were playing that, right? Like, Jackie's just picked up his BKB, so he was playing hyper-aggressive, you know, jumping into the Spectre, jumping into the Snapfire, making sure to stop those Mortimer's Kisses from just raining down. And once he pops that BKB, you're not killing him. Like, the only hero that could maybe kill him is if you've got everyone attacking him at the same time, including Forev, because, yeah, you could do a decent amount of right-click damage, but just realizing that and Fearless skewering Forev back in, Moon jumping into the RP as well, which was quite unfortunate for Fnatic.
Things are getting very complicated for this Dire side now.
We've got the Imp Claw as well now on the Magnus, so that burst damage is gonna be a big factor, not just coming through from the Void. And it was only really the Faceless Void hitting the Spectre during that previous Chronosphere. I think you got one Swashbuckle from Boombell as well, but no Fearless, wasn't able to toss out any Shockwaves, no Purifying Flames either from the Oracles, so I think next time he might just drop down.
Rum's popped from who?
Raven. Don't know why. It was his last charge, so...
Alright, it's just gone. Fair enough.
Who needs it?
Yeah, I guess so. MG.Trust were around the Spectre, I suppose, so maybe he was running away. Jackie does have the Chrono up, so he does have a right to be scared here on that Spectre. Speaking of Jackie, I think he might as well just finish off that MKB before he goes for the Spectre attempt, but they are still chasing down Raven, and he knows it. He's going to go into the tree line, but they might have a gander and see if they can find him. But he looks to be fine. He'll TP out now. MG.Trust, they'll just push out the top lane. They know they can dominate this lane now.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised the rest of his team didn't start to make a move down towards up towards the top side of the map, just because, yes, they're stronger right now, but you do need to delay the push somewhat. And with Raven just TPing down towards the bottom side, you don't want to be taking away any of his jungle fun. Right? His only way to rejoin this team fight is with that Haunt ability. He doesn't have a TP scroll, whereas everyone else does. It's free real estate right now.
Great news for MG.Trust. Bot lane, it's being pushed in, but Masaros is going to TP in to defend. They get the Yules off onto Forev. That'll be his TP gone. And now with the Rolling Thunder, he's definitely been controlled up. Masaros will finish him off. And they're chasing for more now. RP is there for Fearless. They're coming in.
Jackie.
Here comes Raven. Jackie gets the chrono. He's only landed on one, but DJ is going to run back into the chrono. And Fearless will survive thanks to Q on the Oracle.
I love watching these guys play.
MG.Trust is great.
It's just some nice, wholesome, underappreciated Thai and Laotian Dota. And I want to see more. More Motivate Trust.
Do they have social media, these guys? I haven't found them.
I want them to. I feel like maybe on Facebook they would.
Okay. We'll have a look later on, I guess. Maybe during the break, we'll see if we can find one. MG.Trust, T2 mid tower, going down. And,
promising. They can taste that upper bracket berth.
100%.
Granted, they're going to be up against Among Us in the first round, but it's better to have the double chance regardless.
Well, if one thing was proved up against Among Us is they are killable, right? They're beatable. They're not unbeatable. Of course, Neon did take one game off them, so it'll still be a very, very rough time for them, but I believe in MG.Trust. I can see it happen. Still, bot tier 1 tower gonna go down. Jackie will take it for free. 12k net worth lead. Looks like they're just gonna wait out the next chrono, the next RP, and they'll probably just be back to it. There's just nothing to hold them back.
He's playing super deep here. He doesn't really have any form of save, and he's opted to finish up that Spirit Vessel, so unless you're getting any kills, buddy, that's not going to result in anything.
Thunder gonna... Oh, Boombill caught him with the stun out, and he does go down. Moon.
That's what happens when you don't have a Yules to be able to get out to your Remnant.
I mean, he's sitting at 9k net worth right now. He's really struggled in terms of net worth. He's behind Forever on the Nature's Prophet. He's creating space, but it's not worth your life like that.
I mean, is he even creating space? I don't even know how I feel about that, because it's fine if you had that space to then get away with your life, but if he was going for a kill, he doesn't really have the damage to kill anyone either, Oracle can save himself, Pango can just roll away, and you're not killing any of the other three, so... It just seems very odd that he was making that deep of a rotation, like literally underneath a tier 1 tower. If he was cutting the mid-wave in between tier 1 and 2, I'd be like, yeah, sure, fine. Oh, Masaros though.
Yeah, he got the RP off on Forev. Nice, easy kill onto the Prophet. Meanwhile, top lane, they're trying to kill Masaros, but they are throwing everything at him, and he just won't die.
Yep. Defense, defense, defense. That's all you need. He's got the Hood, he's got the Greaves, he's got the Yules, he's got the Essence Ring. You cannot kill this man.
Jackie gets the chrono off, and he's caught Moon in there. That'll be Moon going down. He doesn't have buyback. They're going to buy back on the rest of Fnatic, but it's not looking great. Raven is very low. Jackie pops the BKB. Raven still being chased by Boombill. He is avoiding the stun, but not for long. He does go down. A dieback on Forever, and honestly, at this stage, that's GG. The game's over.
It was a nice Nature's Wrath, but now he's just going to Greaves it all straight back. Probably even saving it to heal up the creeps, maybe. Come on, Masaros, don't make me an idiot.
They're going to try. DJ gets the Walrus Punch off. Zephyr's going to die. Boombill's really giving it to him now.
Oh yeah, they can taste it.
They're not going to call it, surprisingly enough. What's Dota Plus say? 99%.
Even with the Spectre factor. Oh.
Yeah, it's rough. Jackie, they'll get the mid-racks 25 minutes in. It's just very hard to see them being able to come back now. Especially considering Jackie is a couple hundred gold off finishing off that butterfly, it looks like.
Yeah. The thing is, like, I still feel like this game was, like, potentially winnable for Fnatic. They just didn't make the right rotations. Like, they're again going in on the
Bell. He misses the stun.
Doing a burnout there on the high ground.
Love me self a burnout. That's Ross. RP in the backlines. They did end up catching out Raven. Oh boy, it's not looking good.
Look at Raven, he doesn't care. And that's it.
Yeah.
26 minutes.
It's just not great news for Fnatic. They are not looking too hot right now. They've got to change something up in game 2. I mean, it's MG.Trust. You know, it's a lesser known team, a much lesser known team, and they just get away with a victory like that in 26 minutes. It's not great.
I want to say they got away with it. Like they
got it. They made it happen.
Yeah, I just think if you're gonna go Orchid earn, you got to go for kills on the easiest to kill targets, and I feel like they never really went on the supports. Like Q died once as this Oracle, building an Aether lens. He's an int hero, and he has terrible strength gain. Like, kill the Oracle, man. He's the one keeping a lot of these people alive in the team fights as well. So I don't know. I just feel like it was poor execution from Fnatic.
Well, with that, Danog, we do get to go in game number 2, and we'll see what they do to switch things up. It's MLP Dota and Danog, and we'll see you all again in about 10 minutes for that second game.